Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So what I want you to do is I want you to do this little experiment along with the alarm clock test tomorrow. I didn't forget about that. What you're going to do is you're going to find just 2 people a day. That's it. You can be attracted to them. It's fine. And what you're going to do is you're going to find 2 people a day. You're going to make eye contact. You're going to smile, and you're going to hold it, and you're going to play a game with yourself where you get 2 strangers a day to smile back at me. Something interesting is going to happen. Number 1, you're going to start getting a lot of free coffee. Number 2, what happens is you subconsciously fill the reservoir of confidence inside you. Because every time you make somebody pop and you switch somebody's mood, it actually comes back to you like, wow, I got this. Like I can really change the way that somebody is interacting with me. It is a hugely important thing to do for sales, hugely important thing to do just in life in general. And by the way, who you are right now will be totally different 2 weeks ago in terms of how you interact in meetings. You know where to sit in a meeting, right? In a conference table? Do you guys know where to sit in a conference room? No? You always sit in the middle. And the reason why is if you're sitting at the end, it's a dead zone. If you're sitting in the middle, you're always in the middle of the conversation. So if you have something to say, everyone's going to see it. And if you're talking, everyone can see you. And you're never closed off. It is the most powerful place to sit in a conference room. We have just a few more things to talk about, and then I'll take a few questions. But notice the thing that your brain always uses, feelings. It's the feelings that are screwing you over. It's the feelings that make you suddenly say, nope, no way, not going to happen, no, Because the fact is, you're never going to feel like it. Never. That's the universal law of change. You're never going to feel like it. And think about it. In all the areas of your life that you're not happy, if you only did the things you don't feel like doing, you'd have everything you wanted. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. You just don't do it because you don't feel like it. It's a lot like having kids. My son never feels like putting his feet off the dashboard. He never feels like getting off the DS. My daughter never feels like cleaning up the Barbies. Why are they always naked? I don't, like, this I don't understand. When you were a kid, what was your parents' job? It was to harass you into doing the things you didn't feel like doing. What kid ever feels like doing their homework? None. Feels like going outside to play? None. Turning off the computer? None. Looking adults in the eye? None. Using their manners? None. Eating their peas? None. Your job as a parent is to force those damn kids to do the things they don't feel like so they can get out there and make something of themselves. The problem is, when you turned 18 and you left, your parents didn't say, you are a stubborn son of a gun, good luck with yourself, because now it's your job. It's time to truly parent yourself, and here's how you do it. You use this thing called the 5-second rule. If you only take one thing away from this talk, take this. So we've talked about how to manage complexity. You can't manage the environment of it. You can't manage the chaos of it. You can only manage your response. What do you stand for? What do you want the outcome to be? We've talked about some best practices that you can utilize so that you're more effective in the day, and whether or not you follow them is entirely up to you winning the war in your brain. We've also talked about how modern life is screwing your brain over. And we've talked about things that you can do to unhinge yourself when you see yourself throwing yourself back into autopilot instead of doing the things you know you got to do. What you can deploy is the 5-second rule, and here's how it works. The 5-second rule is a nod to the fact that your mind is getting crunched all day long. And it's a nod to the fact that your brain will always make you go on autopilot unless you force it otherwise. So whenever you have a game-changing idea, I should really ask my boss for a raise. I should make 100 times the amount of money, not 100 times, 100% more than what I made this year. Or 100 times, whatever you want. I should write that book I've been talking about forever. You only have 5 seconds before your brain is going to eat the idea. That's it. There's too much information, too much choice, too much fear and uncertainty, too much distraction at work, too many other things going on, too many things screaming for your attention. You got 5 seconds. So what do? All you have to do is take physical action, small, to yank it out of your head and ground it in the world. So that means if you have an idea about something, say it out loud to somebody. Start walking. Today at the conference, this is another thing you can practice. You would be really dumb if you came to this conference and all you did was hang out with the people that you know. And the reason why is your network is the most important asset that you have, truly, in terms of how your career progresses and what you end up doing in life. And there are people in this room, no joke, that either have the resources or have the connections or have the know-how to help you get whatever it is that you want. And if you show up at a conference like this and you stay with your little nucleus and you don't branch out, you are screwing yourself over. And I know, you don't feel like it. I don't feel like making small talk. I don't feel like meeting anybody new. You know you should. So here's how you're going to use the 5-second rule. As you are out and about, tonight you guys are going to King's, which is really fun, and you're going to have an open bar, and you've got all these sessions. As you scan the room and you see somebody who looks interesting, you have 5 seconds to do something about it. You have 5 seconds to literally start walking. That's it. Just start walking. I'm going to come right over to you. Hi, I'm Mel.
Hi, Neil Crespi.
Neil Crespi, everybody. Isn't he great? Give him a hand. Thank you. Because if you don't do that, if you start walking, you're going, then you make the eye contact. It's really weird to turn around, right? See, as I turn around on you, hi, I'm Mel.
Hi.
What's your name?
John Despotopoulos.
John Despotopoulos?
Yes.
Wow, I got that. Okay, give him a hand too. Thank you. So I want you to practice that because you will be shocked at just how weird you are. You're gonna be seeing people, you'll have the impulse to go walk over. Maybe you heard somebody speak on a panel and you wanna give them your card or you wanna ask them some advice. You'll literally have that impulse to do something. You'll be, yeah, okay, I'll get a beer. I'm gonna do this later. That was your brain putting you on autopilot. It happened that fast. So if you experiment with this today, you'll learn a lot about, God, I really do this to myself all the time. I'm gonna leave you with a little science around how to make an instant connection so you can manipulate people. First of all, proximity. There are some scientific reasons behind how you make an instant connection. Number one, proximity. It's why you should go to events like this, because it puts you in proximity with people that can help you or empower you or make you happier or expand your network or make you richer. So they did an experiment, a very interesting one, at the police academy in Maryland. And what they did is they asked incoming cadets, so who's your buddy? And everybody said somebody different, right? All different kind of random people. They came back 6 months later. Who would you say your best friend is? Over 90% of the cadets named the person next to them in the alphabet. Why do you think that is? Because at a police academy, you sit in alphabetical order. You room in alphabetical order. You line up in alphabetical order. The proximity creates the opportunity to get to know somebody. They did the same experiment with bench scientists and found the same thing. They did the same experiment with a dorm hallway, and you had a 64% chance of being best friends with the person in the room next door or across the hall. You go one room down, it drops to 23%. The poor guy at the end of the hall, I mean, boy, are they out of luck. So the reason why going to events like this is important is because it puts you in proximity. It's also that phenomenon. How many of you, my husband and I have a 15, 14, and 9-year-old, and we're in that stage of life where our best friends are the parents of the kids that our friends hang out. Why is that? Because the proximity of standing on the sidelines at a lacrosse game creates the opportunity to say, hey, you guys want to come on over for dinner tonight? Use the walking toward people. Or if there's a group, the other thing to do is a crab walk. So you got a group over here, just kind of step like a crab toward it. So then you're sort of near it. And then as the thing, then you go oh, hi, how are you guys? Number one rule, even if you're shy, be interested. So you meet somebody new, just be interested in them. Ask a lot of questions. There's a reason why you do this. The reason why you do it is twofold. Number one, it gets the spotlight off of you and puts the spotlight on the other person. And when somebody else is talking, they think you're really interesting. Ask anybody how the meeting went, and the person that did the most talking said, I think it went amazing. In fact, I think this speech is dynamite. But what also happens if you ask people a lot of questions is you start to learn things about them, and it creates the opportunity for what's called resonance. Resonance is that thing that you've all experienced where you've been sitting at a dinner party, you turn to the person next to you, you introduce yourself, and they say, oh yeah, I'm Sally from Ohio. And you're like, Ohio? My brother, sister, cousin's from Ohio. Oh my God, that's awesome. It's those connections of college or neighborhoods or what you do for a living or the ages of your kid that make you feel more connected to somebody else. And then finally, we taught you the eye contact game. And in terms of touch, you got to watch this with other cultures, but the upper kind of right this area of the arm, if you touch that, it has been proven because it stimulates certain nerves here. You want to do this in sales. Always shake the hand and do this. They immediately start trusting you. Just don't grab too hard because then that's weird. So here's what you're going to do. All you need to think about is, well, what is it that I want? In the morning, if you do nothing else, just lose the freaking phone. Do not sleep next to it, next to your bed, please. Put it in the bathroom. Really important as you organize your day to think about the most important work in the morning. If you guys are taking photos of these, don't worry about it. They can email this stuff to you. You can have it. You're welcome to take photos, but seriously, I'll just give you the whole thing. And get rid of the distractions. Another interesting thing, I read an article, I think it was in The Week. It was fascinating. The secret to leaving work at 5:30 is to plan your day to leave at work at 5:30. So when you walk in the office, you've blocked out everything with the plan to leave at 5:30. I know you know all this stuff. I mean, I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. Meetings in the afternoon, the 5-second rule, a relaxing evening, which you'll have tonight, and if it doesn't work, you can always take one of these puppies. All right, any questions? Bless you. You're welcome.